New at 7. From beer cans to Boeing to buildings.
And in business, uncertainty is a thing that kills you. 1 cent for us is $170,000.
We're going in depth on what President Trump's just announced steel and aluminum tariffs will mean to you. Some Seattle businesses tell KIRO 7 these tariffs could have a chilling effect on their growth and hiring, and very soon it could mean paying more for a can of local beer. KIRO 7's Gary Horker got some interesting insight from the owner of the Fremont Brewery. Gary, that business is being affected literally right now.
They are, because they use tons of steel and tons of aluminum as the largest canner of almost anything you can name in the city of Seattle. And here's why it matters to you at home. We found out if this tariff has an effect to raise the price of aluminum in bulk as a raw material by even 1 cent. First, it will hit a business like this, and then you're going to feel it too. Every second of the day, the Fremont Brewery uses countless tons of steel and aluminum, brewing, filling up cans, and shipping out tens of thousands of cases of craft beer.
This brew house right here, this is where we make the beer.
And Fremont Brewing's founder and owner, Matt Lincecum, says every part of his business is profoundly affected by the daily commodity price of steel and aluminum, and he has dire predictions about the president's tariff on those metals.
The potential damage is severe.
Because he says this year his brewery will fill and ship out 17 million aluminum cans. He says the price he pays for raw aluminum, which becomes a can, changes by the day because it's all based on the world market for metals, which includes every country on earth that manufactures aluminum.
It could be from India, it could be from China, it could be Indonesia. It's just based on commodity pricing, and we get affected by that.
Matt says if this tariff raises the price of aluminum by 1 cent, it will cost him an extra $170,000, which would certainly raise the price of his beer. He also needs to buy more 7,200-gallon stainless steel tanks, which are manufactured in the U.S. but are usually made of foreign steel. He says if the tariff makes that steel go up even a penny, it could stop his plans to expand his brewery.
So we need more tanks to make more beer to meet our demand, and I don't know how much these tanks are going to cost. Our contracts are being ripped up as we speak. No one knows.
Now, when we asked what effect the tariffs could make on Boeing's business, we were told very little. Boeing planes are made here, and they use mostly domestic aluminum, but more than 70% of them sell outside of our borders. Boeing says, quote, "We are studying the impact it could have and don't have any further comment at this time." Construction experts say higher steel and aluminum prices could make the infrastructure work President Trump supports more expensive, and it could cost construction jobs in cities like Seattle. They say the tariffs could lead to higher prices in what construction firms are forced to pay for steel and aluminum.
It's impossible to run a business that way.
Matt says all this uncertainty makes him wonder when beer prices could go up and if he'll have to choose between buying pricier cans or funding his workers' health care.
We're left with the big question mark, and it's hard to make investments in our employees and our growth with uncertainty because we don't know.
So that uncertainty is the enemy, I'm told, of business. Now, the owner of this business and all the other businesses that I called today say they're all for the greater concept that the president has behind these tariffs, which is to supercharge, in effect, the steel and aluminum industry and put people back to work. But until that happens and until local steel and aluminum comes back online, prices are bound to go up, and you're going to feel it at home when you buy things like beer. Steve?
Gary, that supercharging, that's terrific. Obviously, everybody wants to see the economy continue to grow. But let's go back to that fear, that uncertainty. It really is the toughest part of this tariff plan, isn't
it? That's right. And I'm told, well, a penny, we were told, costs a business like this $170,000. That's how much he uses to fund his workers' health care. If it goes up by a nickel in bulk, it could put businesses like this locally in jeopardy. Steve?
Incredible. All right, Gary Horker reporting live for us in Seattle. Gary, thanks.